good turnout. Thank you for this. Appreciate that.
Hey.
Hey. Guess you can sit right down.
Oh, I like what you're carrying with you. He's so cute. How's it going?
Going great.
You
Spooky
enjoying-
Empire. Can't beat it.
Woo! You enjoying your time here with us?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Enjoying the weather as well.
Well, I live in Atlanta now, so the weather's kind of
Atlanta!
southern boy now.
Hot Lana. Yeah,
Yep.
transplant?
Pretty much.
All right, very good. Well, obviously you're here for one big reason that everyone's gathered, and that would be for Gremlins.
Let's go where to have waxwork. There you go, waxwork.
You got a waxwork fan back there. All right, was that Mike? Yeah. That would be my friend Mike. He's always contrary.
Cool.
So tell us about your experience with Gremlins.
Well, that's kind of an open-ended question,
I
isn't it?
know.
Why don't you get a little bit more specific? Which part would you want to know
All
about?
right, let's start with the first one. What was your experience on set working with so many animatronics?
Well, at the time, animatronics was pretty much in its infancy. You have to remember how long ago we did this movie. We did this movie, pre-internet, you're talking spring of 1983, right? So it was the coin-operated video arcade era, right? And you'd go and you'd play Williams Defender and Robotron 2084 and the Star Wars game, and then you'd go to the set, So you're talking old school. So people didn't have home computers. There was no internet. There was pretty much people didn't even have answering machines. So much less cell phones or smartphones or any of that.
These were like the wave of the future.
Yeah, exactly. There was, outside horses and buggies and no electricity and stuff like that. So it was way, way back then.
Did you have electricity?
Yeah, it was cool. It was new, but it was cool. So pretty much, I had to go and learn everything on the fly. And by the way, so did Chris Wayless, the guy who pretty much invented Gizmo and all of the Gremlins. He was only 28 years old when he got the job. So he was kind of making it up as he went along. Now I actually didn't even find this out until the 30th anniversary, which is like 3 years ago. He was so stressed out about having to work on this product. He worked on it a lot longer than I did. I only worked on it for about maybe 4 or 5 months. He worked on it for about almost 2.5 years. And he kind of confessed at this roundtable interview we did for Empire Magazine that he pretty much had a nervous breakdown, a literal mental nervous breakdown at the end of shooting, because they kept, just when he thought he'd be done, they keep asking him to do additional stuff. So you have to imagine working consistently at a job, and you clean off your desk, and then someone comes with a huge pile of more stuff and says, "Oh, just do these next 200 things, and then you can go." And they kept doing that to him every week for months and months and months. And then finally he was running back from the studio with a bunch of gremlins, and he was sitting on the back of a truck, driving from the studio shop over to the set to set the things up for the last few shots. He fell off the back of the truck and hurt his ankle really badly. I don't think he broke it, but he hurt it. And he was so frustrated. It was the straw. He was started screaming and crying, just ranting and raving, and just had a complete breakdown. So the reason why he didn't do Gremlins 2, and I had no idea about this, the reason why he put this out in the press, so it's not like he's hiding anything. I'm not telling tales out of school. They said to him, they went to him and said, "Do you want to do Gremlins 2?" And he was like, "Absolutely not. No way will I ever go anywhere near anything having to do Gremlins." Because he started getting the shakes. He started sweating. He was all triggered. He was just sweating. He was like the guy who used to take care of Inspector Clouseau, right? The Pink Panther movies. Gremlins 2? He just started having twitching and everything like that. He just freaked out and said, "Listen, that's really nice you offered it to me, but I'm passing. There's no way I could ever do that again." So they called up Rick Baker, who's arguably, the greatest possible replacement you could ever think of, and they said, "Would you like to do it?" And he actually called Chris and said, "Is this okay? Rick Baker's the coolest guy ever." He said, "Is this okay? I don't want to step on your toes or anything like that. I'd be willing to give it a shot, stuff like that, but only if you're," and Chris Wayless was like, "Go with God, my child. There is no way coming anywhere near anything having to do with Gremlins." So that's how we got Rick Baker on Gremlins 2. I actually never knew that until till about 3 years ago. So there's all sorts of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that even people who are part of the production have absolutely no idea about some of the personal political things that are going on.
Endless stories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're going to open to questions very soon, so if you guys want to go ahead and line up over this way, we'll take questions from the audience right here up front. With the popularity of Gremlins, were you surprised it took so long to get a sequel made?
I kind of was, yeah. Generally because, well, you know, here's another thing. You're talking back in the day when there wasn't a lot of this and wasn't a lot of that. There really wasn't the franchise mentality that there is now, where it's like, you do one, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is ready to go, like the second the weekend it comes out and goes big. You know, everyone's prepped for success now. Back then, especially with Gremlins, which was an $11 million movie, it was considered sort of like a fluky little thing. Spielberg had an idea, Joe Dante's gonna do it, and it's like, wait, we don't know what's gonna happen with it. And then it comes out and makes $150 million. It kind of took a lot of people by surprise. So then Joe Dante also was in a really amazing position. Probably every director gets into this position once in their career, where they have this massive hit, and then basically the next movie that they can do is pretty much anything they want to do. You're in the driver's seat. Yeah, so he did Inner Space, and then Warner Brothers was in love with him, and they wanted to, I don't know if you know this, they wanted him to do Batman, the first Michael Keaton Batman. And he was like, he didn't really, I don't know whether he regrets it or doesn't regret it. It didn't feel like his thing. And if you remember, 1988, 89, superhero movies were nothing. Like, nobody was like, oh, superhero movies, that's a slam. People were like, it was like, you know, The Amazing Spider-Man was a TV movie with the horrible webs, and it was just like really bad. The technology wasn't really there to do them particularly well. So he decided instead that he would just double down and do Gremlins 2, provided that he had total control over everything. And the reason why Gremlins 2 is so completely and utterly insane is because Joe Dante just had final cut on everything, and he's like, he basically was like, I think I'll make it a huge Looney Tunes cartoon. I think that'll be great, you know? And so he decided to do that, and that's why the movie opens with a Looney Tunes cartoon, and it's basically like the visual version of Mad Magazine. Like, if you could take Mad Magazine from the 60s and 70s and turn it into a movie, that would be Gremlins 2.
Yeah.
Which I found, actually, at the time, I was kind of like, I was pretty jarred by it. Because to me, I loved the tone, the first original Gremlins, and the way that people balanced the comedy and the humor. I still think it's one of the best balances of comedy and humor that's almost ever been done. American Werewolf in London, you can argue that too. But it's very hard to balance the comedy and the humor the way that he did.
It's such a different tone from the first.
It is, and you can really risk alienating the audience if you don't do it well. You murder someone and then you come back and go, isn't it funny? And the audience goes, no, it's not funny. But they, like, for example, with Mrs. Deagle, I don't know if you know this, Mrs. Deagle dies in the movie. Sorry, too soon, a spoiler.
I never assumed she died. I just thought maybe she
landed. No, she died.
She landed hard.
Oh, she died.
Well, she had it coming.
But that's the thing, you see, there you go. They set her up brilliantly as almost like a non-human. She almost has like no identifiable redeeming quality as a human being.
He said he set her
so
up.
That when she dies, you're kind of like this, well, that's tough luck, you know? She wasn't very nice, you know? So they set her up almost as a stereotype, like the Wicked Witch.
Yeah.
You know, they even sort of have the little Wicked Witch. Jerry Goldsmith did a little Wicked Witch theme underneath her every time you see it. So they kind of dehumanize her and make her not like a real person, just like pure evil. So when she dies, you're not really like, how could they do that to her? That's awful, you know? Yeah. You kind of go, wow. And they set it up brilliantly. Like, if you look at it structurally, screenplay-wise, right? One of the first times you see her, there's like hungry kids outside the bank, right? Starving children. She hates them. She's like, starve. So now you're like this right away. You're like, really? Telling children to starve? I don't care what happens to you. So it's really cleverly done in terms of just making everybody go, I don't care about you. So when she gets killed, you're just not, you're sort of rooting for it because there's something almost anti-humanistic about her.
Yeah, have that art going.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's start with the questions from the audience. Come on over.
Come on down.
Speaking
Audience
of,
questions.
Mr. Mike Check. How are you, Mike?
Hey James, I'm good. Zach, good to see you. Sorry, Gizmo. I wanted to ask you if you could share a fun memory or story from Waxwork 2. And James laughing at it at the beginning, but I am a real big fan of Waxwork.
Oh, from Waxwork
Especially
2.
the second one.
Not the first one, but the second one.
Bigger fan of the second one.
Waxwork 2. I'm going to tell you something. The Waxwork 2 shooting schedule was one of the most brutal shooting schedules that I'd ever had. Just because we had about 5 weeks to do it. And the way that Tony Hickok shoots, he doesn't shoot in big long takes. He shoots in like little snippets. So his movie's really like a mosaic. It's like shot here, shot there, shot here, shot there. Instead of like, you know, big master, close up, or long takes, steady cam takes or anything like that. So it's lots of little shots. So when you have lots of little shots like that, it's a lot of setups. A lot of setups is long, long days. So we did 5 weeks. I think if you look at the movie, I'm pretty much in about 85 or 90% of it. So I had to do the A camera, right, which was we're doing most of it, and then there was B camera stuff too. So I'd be running from A camera, which is in one set, to B camera, which is in like another set, being shuttled back and forth with fans every day, 6 days a week for about 13, 14 hours a day. Wow. So it was a tremendous amount of work. And it was in a really, really sketchy part of Los Angeles called Vernon, which is primarily where they have like slaughterhouses. I'm not making this up. It's industrial. It's kind of like if you ever saw True Detective that was set in Los Angeles, the second season, people didn't like that much. Set in this kind of industrial part of Los Angeles. Exactly what it was like. It's kind of like an abandoned downtown kind of a quality like that. So in the middle of the summer, of course, so every day is about 95 degrees. So it was a pretty crazy shoot, crazy frenetic shoot. So fun memories of it, I don't really have that many super fun memories of it.
Overall experience.
Well, it wasn't a bad experience. It was just like it was like a marathon, is kind of what it felt like. But probably the funnest night we had was there's a mall in LA on Olympic Boulevard in West LA. I can't remember what it's called right now. Something I'll remember. Something Gardens. I don't know. We shut it down for about 7 or 8 hours, and we did the time travel sword fight sequence where I fight Alexander Goodenough through, and this Saturday Night Fever sequence where I come out and I'm in the Travolta suit and fighting the zombies in the Dawn of the Dead sequence. We shot in the West Side Pavilion. There it is. Finally kicked in there. West Side Pavilion for like 8 hours to the early morning, and came out. It was dawn. We went and got like a breakfast burrito and stuff like that. That was a lot of fun.
Cool.
That was a lot of fun. You do a Tony Hickox movie, and it just fasten your seatbelt because he's pretty nuts.
Thanks for doing it, putting up with that, because I am a big fan of Waxwork 2, so it's appreciated. Thank you.
No worries. No worries.
Do you find that you have different kinds of fans for the different movies that you've done?
I do, especially when I did Hatchet 3, then like there's a whole different kind of like slasher, kind of gore, what was it like to work with Danielle Harris, kind of like, you know, fan like that, as opposed to what was it like to work with Phoebe Cates fans, you know, just a different generation. What was it like to work with a super hot chick? Answer, pretty great. Pretty great.
Different experiences on both?
Oh yeah, I mean they're two very, very different people, but yeah. The thing about Danielle Harris, actually, as long as we're on the subject with her, that's really cute, was as horror fans, you'll probably give me a lot of grief for this, but I didn't really know who she was. Like I didn't know a lot of her work in about 2012. She was at a show. She came to my table, and she was a guest there too. But she came to, and I just didn't know. She came to my table and she like asked for an autograph like really shyly and meekly and stuff like that. So I was like, to what Dan? She's like D-A-N-I-E. So I'm like signing it for her, gave it to her, and then she left. Then we did Hatchet 3, and she wouldn't talk to me. So I thought like, oh, she like, I didn't get it. Like, is she angry at me or something like that? So the whole time we're shooting it, and we'd even shot a scene together, and she's just very quiet and reserved. So the last day of the production, actually not even last day, going to the airport. Like it's over, go to the airport, and then you have your typical hotel pickup, takes you to the airport. Get in the car, and going to the airport with me is Danielle. So I sit right next to her and I'm like, hey, how are you? And I decided not to be chatty. The woman's not gonna chat with me, so I'm just like, hey, how are you? And we're going to the airport. She's like, so listen. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, look, here's the thing. I know this is kind of a strange thing to say, but just grew up a huge Gremlins fan, and it was just really weird working with you, and I was super intimidated by you, and I just didn't know what to say. So I don't know if you thought I was being like a jerk or something like this, but I was just like paralyzed with fear, and I didn't really want to say anything to you. And I was like, you fangirling me? She's like, pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. And I was like, oh wow, I thought she just hated me for some reason. She's like, no, I got your autograph once, and you didn't know anything about me, and it was really humiliating, and it was weird, and I was this and that. Anyway, so now we're great friends, and it's all great like that. And I was like, what's her deal? You know, what did I never do to her?
So lesson is, tell the people you're a fan of.
I don't know. Listen, like I said, the whole thing was really cute. I didn't get what was going on. Did I say something? Did I do something like that? She was just like, nope, just really weird working with you. So, I don't know. It's strange. I don't think that way. I don't think I have that ever have any kind of effect like that on people like that. I'm just a dude, and you know, hey, I'm at the Chick-fil-A, what's up, you know? And so I just don't walk around thinking that way, so that just would never in a billion years have occurred.
I think a friend of mine told me a story. He saw you in an airport and you were looking for cold medicine. And,
Yeah,
and
well, I'm a human, so I have cold. I'm looking for cold medicine.
Well, he's like, are you from Gremlins? And you were like, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's like, I've got cold medicine. I guess that was his experience with you. And he said you were super cool. I'm like, well, yeah.
Did I take his cold medicine?
I think you
Probably,
did.
yeah. Had a cold
You had
medicine,
a cold.
take it.
Airport cold medicine
Yeah.
costs like $12.
I see running people at airports all the time. Yeah, pretty cool.
Hi.
I had a beer.